Hi everybody, I'm Ikram.
Hi guys, it's Jeannie.
Hi everyone, I'm Sandee.
I'm Musarat, aka My Sweet Has O.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
Hi everyone, I'm Javon.
Hi everyone, I'm Sunidhi. Hi guys, I'm Kimira.
Hey everyone, I'm Vidarsha.
Welcome guys, welcome to TE. This is so great. I'm so happy to finally meet you all and have a conversation with you all face to face, so to say. And I'm just like excited to see you all finally and meet you all after editing the entire show. And yeah, how was your experience? How did you like it? Tell me all about your experience of TE. Tell me every single detail about how it felt and how was it? What were you anticipating? How did you think the product is going to be, etc., etc.?
So for me, TE was really me coming back into the arts because, well, especially after such a dry run of, the lockdown and the pandemic. And so for me, as I said to Iki in the actual live Instagram video, it's coming back into a team, into a cast, and being able to collaborate and feed off of each other, this energy of just everyone being different and being an artist. And it was really fun, being around people again. And yeah,
that's an amazing thought, like just to collaborate and feed off each other's energies. That's something actually what we miss, because even when I'm taking my online classes, what I actually miss is the physical bounce of energies, like when you're in person with someone and when you're collaborating, etc. It's just a different feeling. So yeah, I'm glad that you guys at least were able to do that. And hopefully by the next time I'll be there too. But Vidarsha, what was your experience? You've been in TE before, you've been with us. As always, you've helped us in production, pre and post production, always. So how was your experience? Like, what did you think of the process this time around?
Thanks, Kshitij, bro. It's been a very unique experience for me. Being someone who has been there since the initial project.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's inception, exactly, which was some 8 years ago, and Iki and I also talked about how this kind of came to fruition, where we were at a restaurant in Durban and we had this idea and all we had available was a pen and a serviette. But really humble beginnings, and I think that's where it began. And I think ideally, obviously at that stage, theater was the medium, right? And that's how we wanted to take it forward. And we explored different avenues in terms of theater. But I think the difference for me in this experience was that it's really evolved. The product has evolved. Obviously with the pandemic, as Jeannie mentioned just before me, we needed to take it to another level to reach people, given the climate of where we are right now. So it was a really unique experience. I mean, my role has also evolved from performer to MC, and on this particular project, actually working with the medium of film and trying to be the glue, if you will, that hung the project together, from conceptualization to how it eventually came to be experienced by the audience. So yeah, a really unique experience for me. It was awesome.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm now going to go to a few people who at least I haven't seen before in the show. So I'm going to ask, say for example, the sisters. So what do you think? How was your experience? Firstly, amazing performance by each and every one of you. I must congratulate you on that. And the music piece that you guys used, especially for your Bharatnatyam, was it? Or was it Kathak? Bharatnatyam. So yeah, for that piece was really nice. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. It was after a very, very long time, because of this pandemic, we actually did a classical piece that was at that level, and it killed us.
And it was long. It was what, 4.5 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sunili takes a classical class, but my class is a hip hop class, so I don't really get to perform classical
Unless we have
a gig.
Ah,
go to.
interesting.
So I really
Interesting.
enjoyed doing the classical for TE.
That's nice.
I remember
Oh yeah, and we no,
from
go ahead.
watching the outtakes, there was somebody's piece of jewelry fell through, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna step on it, we're gonna have an injury. But she just like moved through it like a hot knife through butter. I was like,
We're so used to that happening. I mean, okay, we are dancing for like how long? 18 years?
18, 17.
Yeah, 18 and 17 years. So you just kind of
How old are you all?
learn
Is that
how to
practically
maneuver
literally
around.
all your life?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I started
That's
when I was
nice.
3.
How sweet.
Okay, I
That's
started when I
amazing.
was 5. I'm currently 23. So basically, for
Yeah,
most of our
entire
lives,
life.
dancing.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good to
as
know.
soon as you can walk, I guess.
Interesting. So, how was your experience with TE? How did you guys like the entire process?
Okay, so we weren't actually involved in the entire process because we were quite busy during that time with some other stuff. Unfortunately, we couldn't learn from Ikram himself, but we got the chance to just do a choreography of our own, which was last minute as well. But completely different from what you'd normally expect, because normally the Eastern evening is such a big event at Playhouse Theatre, and you have a crowd that's there to give you feedback like instantly. You have everyone backstage running around. It's a completely different atmosphere. This time it's just backstage production and us dancers cheering each other on instead of having an audience that gives you that certain pleasure, if you would, after performance.
A feedback, yeah, like it's extremely important. As an artist, you really thrive on that interaction or that little bit of energy or feedback from the audience. You know, like that's extremely important. Genevieve, you have something to say? Yeah. I like how she's raised her hand. It's so sweet.
I just wanted to kind of respond to what you've just said about like feeding off of the audience. And I guess that's where you feel the difference between acting in theater and acting for film. You know, it's film is very much more intimate. It's very much more motivated, as well as the director feeding into the actual performer. And the audience, you get, as you were saying, you get this kind of thrill and you get this kind of feeling of, okay, it's time, let's do this. You get that extra pump that you need, you know. And that is, yes, we did miss that. But at the same time, it's kind of a good experience to show, you know, okay, is this the field for me? Is this what I enjoy? Like, what do I enjoy doing between theater and film, you know? So
that was actually, you took away one of my questions.
And it's a process of learning that that same thrill that you get from an audience, you kind of have to develop it for yourself now. And if you can develop that inwards, then I mean, you can use it for all performances and not just on camera. Exactly,
yeah. So it's kind of like that's where your professionalism has to come in as an artist. You need to survey your actual atmosphere and say, okay, I need to push myself here. This is where I need to motivate myself and go the extra mile. So that's the way I saw it. Yeah,
that's an amazing answer. Thank you so much for putting that across. Coming back to the sisters, Kim, could I know your perspectives as well about the process and the entire thing?
I really enjoyed this experience with TE, the new COVID experience, because with COVID, you've got to be self-motivated, and despite that self-motivation, working with an intimate team, like how we worked with during the shoot, we were all in it together, all hyping each other up.
It was nice to see the other performers relate and actually hype you up rather than that normal competition that you have.
Because generally, I'm speaking as a Durban artist now. apart from having competition outside of your dance group, there is generally competition within the dance group as well, and I didn't see that during the shooting, and it was very, very nice to see that it was a team working as a team, not just a bunch of people saying, "Oh, I want to use this, I want to dance like this." It was everybody working together.
That was the intention. The intention was collaboration over competition. So I'm glad that you as participants could feel that.
Ikram and all of you guys have really brought together an extremely good project where people have set their differences aside and they can say, "Oh, I love working with this person. I love working with Ikram. I love working with Chitej." Because there's no favoritism.
There's
no
airs.
bias.
I think the way it was
graces.
done and the way it was carried out didn't allow room for that competition to come in.
It was, we are here to dance.
Yeah, even if there was competition, there was no way for it to be put forward or even into the final showing.
It was just about dance, and that's what the Eastern Evening is about. It's about you guys bringing forth dance, and that is what comes through.
I'm happy to hear these answers. I'm so glad that it actually comes across as that, and having to hear your perspective as the recipients of what we're trying to do or achieve from the project is an amazing feeling, or like a confirmation of what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for those words. I really appreciate them. I'm sorry, I can't help but notice Javon sitting. Like, it's literally like, you know, those yeah, have you seen movies like Jodha Akbar, etc., and they're sitting like that and watching someone dance? You're like, how? 100%. It's literally that sort of a body language. I love it.
Like, you know, wow.
And while you guys were speaking, there was this one moment where he actually did something like that, or something like he raised his hand, and I'm like, all right, this is Jodha Akbar.
Please ask him a question now, please. Speak like
Okay, Javon. So, very recently I got to know that we have been speaking about you all along, by the way.
Sorry?
We have been speaking about you all along.
Oh my God.
How did you miss this?
He does this often.
I'm so sorry.
We got that on record. It's cool. All right, so Javon, very recently I got to know that your involvement with the project was far more than just a dance participant. Like, you also did a certain posters for us, etc. So, what was your inspiration to doing the poster or the artwork that you did, and how did you get that inspiration towards TEE?
Well, how I basically got into this whole thing was due to my beautiful cousin sitting there, Genevieve. She was like, "You know what, we need another boy dancer and stuff." And
okay, hold on 1 second. Did she like tell you to mention her name, something?
No.
All right, just kidding.
No.
Kidding. Carry on, please carry on.
But she got me into it, and then while we were in rehearsals, Iki was speaking and he was like, "We need someone to design the poster. I still need to find a designer." And then I looked to Genevieve and I was like, "Iki, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here to help you. I'm here to sort your life out. I am your angel that you didn't know about." So he spoke to me and he was like, "Okay, this is what we wanted for the poster. This is what TE means." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll try and design something different for TE." And then I saw the poster before and I was like, what is this? And then I decided to go for something very different. But there was like, I know it's a focus on Bharatanatyam dancer, and she's the burst of color in the middle with this group of people at the bottom. And the bottom people were basically my interpretation of us dancers who hold up the community, who give life through dance. And that was basically the inspiration of the poster. It was just something to show pride as a dancer and show how we make our little difference towards society.
That's amazing. That's so interesting. Okay, Iki, while he was talking, I just like one thing that is missing in TEE now that we need to consider adding is act it out.
100%.
Like the way he speaks, like the way and all those things were like, I'm like, dude, we need to get acting into this. And that's where probably Vidarsha can play more of a role than just being behind the scenes.
Please.
Yeah, we should add act it out because like Javon literally like he was performing right now, the answer.
Absolutely.
So
this is what
the Act It Out is a segment. Sorry, Iki, I'm just going to introduce the segment. Act It Out is a Act It Out is a segment that we introduced at the Exchange in 2017, where we merged dancing and acting. So we wanted to introduce musical theatre. So we wanted to introduce the students to musical theatre.
That's something that's very lacking down here.
Yeah, so in India, so what happened was Exchange was a program where we got South African students and Canadian students to India. And my company through Iki's company was hosting the students in India for almost 10, 12 days. And we had, I don't know if you guys know Ritwik Bhaumik, he's an Indian actor.
Because the series was really big.
He was the star of the series called Bandish Bandits. On Amazon Prime. Yeah, the one who played Radhe. Yeah. So Ritwik is a very dear friend. He's a very dear friend, and he was the coach. He was the acting coach, and we developed a program called the Act It Out. And as far as TEE in Durban is concerned, I would like to officially ask Vidarsha if he would like to collaborate with us on Act It Out, so that when it comes to India, it can be Ritwik, me, etc. collaborating. When it comes to South Africa, it can be Vidarsha, Iki, etc. collaborating.
Wait.
Can I just say at this moment in time, on record, it would be an absolute honor and a privilege, and I cannot wait until this drops because it is going to make waves, and I want to be a part of it.
That's amazing. I'm glad to know. Thank you, Javon, for your theatrical answer that led me to introducing Act It Out in TEE.
Ikram has a lot of contacts and friends in this industry.
Yeah, well, that's what it is all about.
Collaboration.
Collaboration is how you succeed or is how you grow in this industry. It's like when you look at a person and when your wavelengths match, you got to stick to that person. Iki and I, we have been working since we were kids together. And the first time we met each other, we knew that there's a certain wavelength that matches. And that's what has kept us going for so long. And then Iki has his own set of friends and contacts. I have my own set of friends and my contacts. And we just bring them together. And that's how it works.
Slight sense of perfection to life. Now that we know kind of like what your experience was and like how you vibed, whatever, like I want to hear how you vibed with it. Like, what was your favorite part in the sense, like what was your takeaway, and what is something that you want to see happen in the next one?
This was my first time in it, and we did it as a video. And I'm really looking forward to being in the Playhouse because I've never done something like that before. So I really, really want to go there. I can't wait to do the Playhouse thing. Because to me, I saw a video of it on YouTube, and it was just like, it's massive. And I want to be a part of something.
It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. But yeah, hopefully next year. Because we are definitely...
the Mahaguru of this group. It's like he's inspired, acted out. Now he's even making me think of going back to the Playhouse.
Yeah. All he needs is to remove his t-shirt, add a beard, and that's it. He's golden. Anyway, while you guys think about what Iki was speaking, let me just introduce another addition to TEE this year, who's the beautiful Musarrat. It was such an honor to host you this year on our platform. And your edition actually gave TEE a different meaning. Like it added a different, layer of performing arts into our show. And we were so fortunate that you came on board. And I must say, take this opportunity and say that you were absolutely amazing. It was an absolute pleasure to edit that part, because it was like, okay, I'm hearing something nice. And when you edit, when you're behind the scene, when you're on the editing table, you just have to keep hearing it over and over and over again. So all you praise that the artist is nice and has a sweet voice. And I just got lucky. So I'm happy that you were on board with us. And how was your experience? Like, how was it to be a part of this particular brand and event?
I think firstly, I would like to take the opportunity to actually thank you guys for having me. It was and it is an absolute honor. Ikram for believing in me. He's always been a fan, if I could say that. But I think it was such a different experience for me, because with me singing in bands and it's always live. And it's at these lounges and things like that. So this was a bit different. It was my first time performing something like this in front of a camera. Although I have done different, religious pieces for TV and things like that. But this was really different. It was full of life. It was definitely what I imagined things to be. Before it actually happens, you have all these things happening in your head, like, oh gosh, the camera in my face, it's going to be lights, there's going to be people all around me. And I think it was a real fairy tale how it played out in my head. So I was really, really impressed. So I'd like to say again, thank you so much for having me, and I wish
pleasure
that I'm able to be a part of it again in the future years.
Oh, 100%, for sure. We believe in sticking to our people, and the people who love us, we love them back as probably more than double. So it'll totally be absolutely a great collaboration if we can keep this going in the long run, and that's why we are all here together. So
the next one.
Sorry.
She has to dance in the next one. It's like singing and dancing. I'm thinking like Britney Spears. I'm a slave routine. But
all right.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you were saying something.
No, I was just because Genevieve said earlier, she spoke about, the being in front of a camera and it having a different sort of integrity. She had said to me that she was working on her craft and she would like to one day reach the position of being the triple threat. And she had, the acting experience, she had the singing experience, which maybe we can hear a tune or two today. But now she wanted to try her hand at dance, and she hasn't had a chance to kind of get that. Do you think this program has given you significant exposure for you to go in that? And as a professional in the arts, what would you like to see added to the project the next time around?
Okay, so in terms of dance, I have done musicals and I have been part of dance schools, but in terms of a project like this, I have never done before. But what I would really like to see, especially after I've watched what the project was, which is amazing, by the way, I really enjoyed it. But what I would like to see is more close-ups. I feel like the audience needs to become more personal with the dancers. What I would also like to see is also some fusion, some gumbo, some Zulu dancing, some, really African fusion, and what else did I think about? Because I actually wanted to bring this up to you guys, because I think that the context of taking something like this and putting it on screen is really, really good, especially because we've come from a pandemic showing us that, we need to continuously change, and the entertainment industry needs to continuously change. So it's very vibrant, and I think that we have a lot of room to grow.
To speak to the point about having more fusion in the show, it was actually meant to be there. We did have the collaboration, but because of the unscheduled load shedding, transportation, everything kind of got mixed up. So I mean, the attempt was there, and we're probably gonna,
No, but Iki, to highlight the point of what Genevieve was saying, she was actually just exactly saying what you and I discussed for the next year on. Because, see, this, yes, for sure, this mod, I genuinely don't call this a real hybrid as such. Like, this was the best hybrid we could do in the situation that we were presented with at this point in time, or this year. But hybrid for me is next year, when you actually see, when you are doing a show of this nature on film, you're still doing a show, and that's what we wanted to show the audience, that it's still a dance show, But when we have the liberty of doing a dance show at, say, for example, the Playhouse next year, hopefully, or whichever theater, if you do it in a theater next year, and at the same time, we use filming as one of the models to introduce that show, or to have that segment, or make it a little bit more, hybrid in nature. That's when we will be evolving TEE onto the next phase. And that is when I would want to be, we all together would want to present it more like a film than a show, because we already have something that is going to be presented as a show, So that's the idea. That's at least the initial thought process, or the ladder that we're trying to step onto to reach the 10th year, and to explode with ideas and stuff like that. And that's the entire intention of adding Act It Out, to make it more musical theater, but at the same time keep the roots of the Eastern Evening exactly where they are and where they belong, And yes, 100%, Iki, I think it's long overdue that we do an African dance style and we merge it with a Bharatanatyam. Like how you had the classical fusion this year, let's do some. I teach a style called Afro Tandav, where I teach a combination of Tandav and Afro jazz. So it's a recent development that I've come up with during the pandemic. I would have loved to have that chance to show that at the showcase this year, but unfortunately we couldn't. So I'm just crossing my fingers and self-learning to develop that style. Hopefully next year we can present it on stage, in person. So some fusion like that, for sure. But that's definitely in the pipeline, for sure.
No, I mean, I think, Genevieve brings so many fresh ideas, and Kshitij, as you're saying, we're thinking about it as we move on to the next phase, right? Because obviously, I think 10 years for TEE is obviously a milestone that we're working towards, and we're looking forward to. I think for me, I'm so excited about how some of the pieces have evolved, and this is what I said to Iki also on the live. There's been such an evolution in terms of these performative pieces, right? And from someone who comes from a very strong drama background, I so appreciated the piece that involved spoken word, that involved a more kind of physical theater approach. That was really so inspiring, and the fact that it also was storytelling about the Indian diaspora that is in this place. Yeah, that really oh my word, it really hit me, it moved me, so I think as we move on, as you said, Kshitij, when we have the luxury of a theater at our disposal, and we could make this more like a film rather than a recording, I think the potential is just absolutely incredible, and I think the artistic direction with this project is evolving at such a rapid pace, where it's starting to incorporate these things of storytelling. We're starting to think about Act It Out, where also performers. If I think about myself as a young performer coming onto a project like that, what an amazing opportunity. Because suddenly it's not just about dance, it's about how can I evolve and grow as a performer, so I'm starting to learn about film, I'm starting to learn about spoken word, I'm starting to learn about choreography. And I think if you have all of those things in your craft and you're honing it, then yeah, man, the world's your oyster as a creative professional.
On that note,
I just want to say something very quickly, and you know what? Reset means exactly this, where we can all come together and have this conversation, and as a collective, make changes to see how can we benefit the industry. Because right now, you guys are the ahead of the curve. The industry is waiting to see what are you guys doing next, and you're so diverse in your craft. And like we were speaking about all these characteristics that Javon has, similarly, the Sunidi sisters have a similar thing. Genie in a bottle, similar. Sandee, same. Michael, same. Musarrat, same. Vidasha, same. Shatir, same. You know what I mean?
I think you have acted out the most tonight, just by the way.
But I just want to and maybe this is the artistic director in me. I know we've been to the theater, we've been at the opera, we've been at the drama, we've been outside of the theater. I think this is a new space for us, and we should just try to spend a little bit more time here, see how we can conquer this space also. And after we conquer it, I swear we'll go back. We'll go back maybe for the 10th anniversary. But for now, I just want to stay in this space for a little longer. I want to own it,
Also, Iki, this space offers us a freedom to do something more than an annual show. So, we can have a certain gigs or certain things where we can actually have videos that are produced and I can edit them, etc., under the brand name of TEE. And then we can look at probably progressing towards... why are you doing that Indian head? I don't understand.
I'm agreeing.
Okay, anyway, I think the one person that we've not spoken to yet, besides Iki, me and Vidarsha, who's the oldest with the brand, is Sandee. So you've been with us for a very, very long time. And how have you felt about what it was back then when it was your first year and my second year? Yeah, my second year. Our second year, actually. And it was your first year. From then till now. And when Iki told me this year that you are on board, I was so happy, genuinely, because when I saw you dance the first time when we were teaching you, I forgot the name of the school. I'm sorry.
It was
Verulam. Yes, Verulam. Yes. So when we were teaching you there, Iki and I used to always discuss the amount of potential you have as a dancer, and we are just happy that we can treasure you as a performer in our brand. So how have you felt all these years about your journey and the progress of TEE?
I think Iki told me that we met, or I started dancing with him when I was 15. I couldn't remember because it's been so long, and it has progressed a lot when you look at it, in terms of performances, in terms of choreography styles, in terms of, there's been fusion. I remember we did TE, I think, with Verulam Secondary. I think Michael was there too. And it was sort of like an Afro fusion type of thing. And that was the year I think we won. And it's just, the growth has been a lot. I myself personally, as a dancer in my, personal space, I have grown so much, and, I'm ready to put more of what I've learned into, the production itself.
Yeah, that's amazing. See, that's I really enjoy when someone says that I would like to put whatever I've learned into the production itself. Like that's an amazing commitment. And I love that we all as a team have that commitment towards the product that we or towards the brand that we are working for. Michael, tell us something about your if you are up for it. That is, please tell us something about your journey because it's the first time you and I are working together. So I've heard about you a lot from Icky. So now I'd like to hear from you about us. So please share your experience with us.
My story started with I wasn't, as you can see, I'm a very shy person, I guess. So I haven't learned how to dance properly until when pressure was put onto me, where at school I was told to learn a dance. And at that point, I think some of the guys started laughing at me or something, right? Because I didn't know how to dance. And then so I'm the type of person that if you tell me I can't do something, I'll make sure I can do it. So I, at that point, learned how to dance on my own. And it was at that point where Sandee told me himself, because Sandee and I are very close. So he brought me into Rampage. So the next year after he performed at the Playhouse for TE, I performed with him the following year, I think it was. Yeah. And it was that year that we won. And
That's
it was
amazing.
The most amazing feeling.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Basically saying he's the reason they won, I'm just saying.
Michael, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm turning 21 in this
21. Let me just tell you through experience. I'm 34, okay? And the point is that when I was your age or when I was even younger than you, I was literally the only boy dancing. You're still far fortunate because you are in that era where it's not that, what do we say? It's not that much of boys still dance. Like we have boys, like you have us as dancers in the sector. But when we were young, there were hardly any boys who used to dance. I literally was the only boy in my school. And other guys used to laugh at me and stuff like that. And I can literally show you my Facebook chats with the same guys who used to laugh at me saying that you would be envy your life right now.
Yeah.
So stay at it. It's a beautiful story. I'm so glad you shared it with us. And that's how you begin. That's how this is called breaking out of your shell. And I'm so glad that TEE and Icky and I and Vidarsha and all of us are able to give you guys a platform to break out a little bit in your own self, out of your own comfort zone. And
I have to add something here because
I could see it on your face. I could see it on your face.
And you were just not stopping.
Yeah, I could literally see that. That car before it starts at the speed of whatever. That was his face right now.
So I wasn't sure whether to do the Eastern evening. Should we do the Eastern? Shouldn't we do the Eastern evening? And I was sitting at a restaurant and I looked up and this was going through my head. And I looked up and I saw Sandee and Michael riding a skateboard in the car park. And we never run into each other. So I got back home and I called them and I was like, I saw y'all. And then they started a conversation about are we dancing again? Are we going to be dancing again or whatever? And they were actually, I call it the chingari, the
motivators, yeah.
And then I said to them, well, we need dancers. They'll be like, Icky, do you know, they broke out into this whole philosophical speech about how during the time of pandemic, nobody had a chance to be out and everybody is looking for an outlet. And I was like, find me dancers. And they were like, okay. And this is what happened because of that moment. So thank you, Sandee and Michael.
That's amazing. I'm so glad. So that's a great contribution. Okay, before we part ways, did you guys see the show?
Yes.
Yes.
What did you guys think of the show?
I was like, I didn't expect it to come out so good.
I like that. I didn't expect it to come out so good.
Can I just say, from my perspective, who was liaising with the camera guy, I was talking to him about some of the shots that I thought would look really good with the movement patterns of what has been created, like choreography. To see how it came out was amazing, incredible, really, really good.
But it's so much of a teamwork. Like, I'll give you an example. Okay, there is this first song that you guys do, the spoken words. Spoken words finishes, and there is a group of people who are standing in a conglomerate or cluster in front of the camera, and the camera is right here. And I hear Vidarsha say that, okay, move out, like from two groups, and the camera will go from the center and we'll come out. So, that involvement of each and every single person to give that 100%, is so, so important. Because when I was seeing that shot, I was like, I hope they do this. I hope they do this. The camera traveling through the dancers is going to look amazing, amazing. And the next shot that I see, the next take I see, I literally see Iki and Vidarsha directing Keegan and the dancers a certain way. And I'm like, thank God. Like, there's such a sigh of relief. So that input, that 100% of, each and every individual is what makes the show a whole. And I'm glad that we have this beautiful team. And I hope that all of us stay together for the next year or for the next show, whenever that is. Hopefully not 1 year, sooner than that. That depends upon our budgets. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, guys. This was amazing. Thank you for giving us your time. This was an amazing reunion show, as I've been told. And I'm so happy that we got this chance to interact and speak and bounce our energies off each other. Hopefully next year, when we work on the Eastern Evening again, it will be more longer, for a longer duration. And at the same time, a different sort of a hybrid mode. And hopefully I'll be there. So, yeah. But thank you so much once again. Have a lovely evening. And I will see you guys hopefully very, very soon.